One of the stars of the show in the first half. Oh, Georgia Gray gets whacked. What a turning point. Big tackle from Mulu. Gray still down. Knocked the stuffing out of it.
Welcome to Code Sports Show and Go, your one-stop shop for everything NRLW. And of course, my co-host every week is Pam Whaley. Great to see you, Pam.
Thanks, Laura.
Especially after what we had, a groundbreaking moment in the NRLW on the weekend.
NRLW Magic Round is underway.
We had it all, a lightning show, 80 mils of rain, and then we actually had some footy as well. So we have a lot to talk about.
We do. I don't know if you saw, there was vision of girls like sliding in the mud on the sideline,
Yes.
things like that.
You could see Newcastle just wanted to get behind it, and watching on from home on the couch where I was very comfortable, I could just feel through my TV that it would have been very different had the weather gods just shined a little bit nicer. I really enjoyed seeing the interactions with the players. I think one of the clips the Newcastle Knights put up at the end of the weekend was of Yasmin Clydesdale, their captain. She was covered in mud, like still had the mud on her nose, and she walks over to the sideline and there's a girl holding, in the pouring rain, holding up a sign saying, "Can I please have your boots, Yasmin?" And she takes off the muddiest boots and she's like, "Are you sure? Like, do you really want these?" Let's get into your moments, because we had some great moments from the weekend. I'll let you start. What was yours?
So just in that first game of the weekend, so the Bulldogs Titans game, Shannon Muru.
One of the stars of the show in the first half. Oh, Georgia Gray gets whacked. What a turning point. Big tackle from Mulu. Gray still down. Knocked the stuffing out of it.
And then in another instance, she played the ball backwards, which was actually quite funny. The Bulldogs kind of made it into a social media moment, and all of the players were having a few comments backwards and forwards with her.
Love that. My moment was when Warrior debutante Ivana Lautiti not only scored a try on debut, but also came up with a massive hit on Jakaya Whitfield.
There's a kick from Curtin. Whitfield. Oh, whack! Lautiti!
I feel like everyone loves a rugby league family story, and having her dad, Ali, there, who also happened to score for the Warriors on debut just way back in 1998. That's a great story, and I think we love seeing, you know, the generation of women coming through who had families that played rugby league. All right, well, from the football perspective, we've got obviously the Roosters. They remain unbeaten. The Broncos and the Knights, sort of those three teams at the moment in this premiership seem to be in a league of their own right now. One of the games of the weekend had to have been saved for last, and that was St George Illawarra up against the Parramatta Eels. This was a really important game for both teams, and it went down to the wire. Really have to give Parramatta credit, because they were down 10-2, and then they go on to win this 12-10.
Amazing game it was, and I think it was both from from both teams too. Parramatta had a couple of injuries throughout the game as well. There was Kennedy Cherrington had a really nasty head clash, and then they had Cassie Tohuhiki as well.
Tohuhiku,
yeah, that's right. Racine McGregor did a bit of a hip drop tackle on her, so her ankle kind of got twisted underneath, and then she went off, and looks like she'll be missing a little bit of game time as well. Racine has also been suspended for that, so she'll miss 1 week for that tackle. And then Racine later on in the game as well also had a head clash.
And those celebrations were so good, because you can see what it meant for the Eels. Down on troops, really down for the count on the scoreboard. It is a bit of a heartbreaker though for the Dragons in the context of their season.
Yes.
Because they've got all the injuries now and where they sit on the ladder. Makes it really tricky for them coming into this game against Cronulla, the local derby, this Saturday. Take us through the injury toll.
So what
for
have we
Cronulla.
got for the Sharks? We have
Rhiannon Byers, she's done for the year.
Yes, Emma Veron potentially.
Looks like she could be done for the year.
Yeah, so she had a foot injury that ruled her out of this game. Tiana Penatani, she had a head knock in the game, so she will, and I think it was a Cat 1 as well, so she will miss next week as well.
Vanessa Biddle's got a shoulder. Both of these clubs are probably the biggest example of why we probably cannot talk about expansion, and what we need to be talking about right now is expanding squads.
We have both spoken to players numerous times about this, and this is what they say: we need more squad depth, and over these next coming years, this is what's going to be important, is bringing some of these players through these lower grades and then having them be able to play NRLW.
All right, so let's just put it out there. How big are squad sizes at the moment, and then on top of that, development, and what do we want it to be?
So at the moment it's a top 24, and that's all of your NRLW players, and then there's 4 development spots. So they are teenagers, essentially. They're 17-year-olds. Players can then play NRLW once they hit 18. What we want to see is potentially moving out to a top 30 like the NRL, where there's 30 top contracted players, rather than having more teams, because what we're seeing now, and especially, you look at the Sharks, they had, I think Tony Herman was saying they've got 8 players that are missing out of their top 24.
5 rounds in.
And it's 5 rounds in. So now they are going to
very
deep into that kind of.
Well, their development players
list
are playing, and they're often players that you might expect to get 1 or 2 games in a season off the bench.
That's not what they're supposed to be there for. They're supposed to be there for if they've been doing well enough, if they've, it's a reward to play.
Them. Yes.
It's a reward to play NRLW once they're ready, not, we desperately need you because we've got to fill out 18 spots in a team this week.
Atai. She'll play it on the last. Quick play the ball. Nichols, Parky, they must score. They do score. Taki Moana.
Let's talk about one of the results on the weekend specifically. The Cowboys, their 2-game winning streak, it came to an end going down to the Warriors, 12 points to 6. Great game for the Warriors, great result for them. But their coach from the Cowboys, Ricky Henry, he spoke about the potential of bringing Kirra Dibb back next weekend. Let's have a listen.
She has worked hard over the last couple of weeks, so every player that's in our squad's available at the moment. We're injury free, so everyone will be available.
So Dibb could be back. She's been working on things, but I don't know where she's been working on things because there's she hasn't actually been playing in the reserve grade because there's been no reserve grade. It will be interesting to see if he recalls her this weekend.
Yeah, so this weekend will be, tomorrow, Tuesday, Teamless Tuesday is going to be very interesting. So if she's not named in the NRLW team, whether or not she's named for Northern Pride.
I think that, from what I understand, Sydney clubs are watching this closely with Kirra to see what goes on. She's the co-captain of the Cowboys. She's an experienced half. Halves are hard to come by of that ilk. So yes, if she's not on that team sheet this week, I feel like next week we could be talking about, I don't know, Kirra maybe not wanting to stay at the Cowboys anymore.
Yeah.
All right, now the Bulldogs, in terms of recalling players, they might bring a couple of big names back this weekend after Holly Wheeler and Tegan Dimmick ran around in their Harvey Normans on the weekend. They were dropped and they missed the 14-all draw with the Gold Coast Titans, our first draw in the NRLW, which was a great game. I mean, in terms of a neutral here, watching on Taylor Preston's kicking game was enormous. She kicked 2 40-20s. Needed to nail a field goal. They just couldn't get this game and put it to bed, which again, that 1 point on that competition ladder that both the Titans and Bulldogs picked up could be crucial, or it could actually hurt them by the end of the season. Yeah,
well, the Bulldogs have probably shown, and the Titans as well, that they do have, excellent halfbacks. They've both, who are able to win games, big match winners, but they just haven't been able to do it so far this season.
All right, what's your match of the round coming up in round 6, Pam?
For me, it's the Titans v Roosters. Now, the Titans, I know we've just spoken about, are not having their very best season at the moment. They're short a couple of players. They've started to gain a lot of momentum in the last couple of weeks, though. But last year, the Roosters lost 1 game heading in towards the premiership at the end of the year, and it was to the Titans in round 5. There's a bit of kind of rivalry here that's kind of brewing between these two clubs.
Okay.
They played each other in a semi-final the year before as well, and the Titans knocked them out to play in the grand final. So, yeah, I think this is one to watch.
All right, a bit of origin spice maybe in this one. Queensland being all those New South Wales players who wear the red, white and blue. But I do have to say, I feel like now that you've pointed that out, that's a reason why the Roosters will have to be up for this game. So it could either, really work against the Titans, because the Roosters have been unstoppable this season and are our outright leaders and unbeaten. All right, to wrap up, I've decided it's not make Women's Rugby League greater, it's just make Magic Round greater this week. And I've come off Vegas here and just thinking of that incredible opportunity and the way the NRL harnessed the fan interaction in Vegas, and that was with the interactive fan zone that they had. And they had it at a pub in the lead up and took it over, and every day, one day or two, across a couple of days, they had all the teams come through for fan signing sessions. I feel like my feedback from players up at Magic Round was that there were a lot of them milling around. So they're all there. Get them busy, get them interacting with the fans either on game day before their game, after their game, or the day before, because the teams are up there. So create some experiences for the fans, whether set it up properly so that you
get them into a tent on a table.
And you've got the lineup so the fans know when their team's going to be there for their signing session, or do some ball games out the front, like all that. I know that would have not been possible with the rain this year, but certainly a marquee with some fan signing sessions and rotate every single team through. I think you'd get a lot of kids out there that are super happy to get that up close time with the biggest stars in the women's game.
I don't know whether or not, and I don't know what your opinion is either on whether it's at the right point of the season as well. So, I mean, we're round 5. There were obviously a lot of clashes with the NRL games. I think this is something that we can probably look at in the future, is where it sits in the season too. I think it would be good to have it towards the end of the NRLW season, potentially first week of NRL finals,
which is round 11 for the girls.
Yeah, right? Exactly. So it would be, obviously the first week of the NRL finals, there's 4 games. There's much more clear air that they could be broadcasting these games, and I think more fans available to go to these games as well, so you're not kind of picking and choosing, but something to think about in the future, because they haven't locked in what's happening with Magic Round moving forward.
Well, they don't have to have it in the middle of the season. That's a really great idea, and I know from a broadcaster's perspective it would really delight from our point of view, because then free, clean air, the girls aren't competing with the boys, and you could definitely find room for all 6 games if there's only 4 NRL finals to be played.
That's it.
Much better idea.
For sure. And then those NRL finals, obviously they're, Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoon. There's just so much more scope, real estate to be able to play these games and get some clear air for them. So I don't know, something to consider. I think it's going to be in New South Wales for the next 3 years as well. Andrew Abdo confirmed that yesterday, so that's and I think in regional New South Wales too. They'll probably look at going back to Newcastle.
I think that's fair. Let Newcastle have it again after what was essentially a washout. But regional New South Wales is what they've signed on with, apparently, with Tourism New South Wales, is it has to be in a regional centre. All right, well, that's really it for Magic Round for the very first time. It was an awesome thing to watch on, and I'm sure it'll be bigger and better next year, Pam. And after next round, we'll have a closer look at how the teams have performed. We'll be at the halfway point. All right, well, make sure if you have any questions or you want to interact with Pam and I, please send us an email, code nrl@news.com.au. We'll see you soon. Thanks, Pam.
Thanks, Lara.